Alright guys, so as always, this video will be on YouTube after it's done. For those that are watching on YouTube that aren't in Unity Academy, this will be my last public live stream that's uploaded on YouTube. If you guys want to join, and then you guys will be able to watch this more often. Every Tuesday I do a stream, so yeah. Now let's jump into it. Sol is going to hit TP. I'm not going to update it. You guys can watch it live, but I'll update it later. Let's jump into Bitcoin really quickly, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. Let's look at a clean chart. Okay, so this is what I gave last week, right? Tuesday of last week. Yeah, the 24th. I told you guys that buying in this green zone is what you want to do all the way down to 85. And we got a perfect fill of the entry and gave a perfect rejection of the supply zone. Right, so that was a good, to the top, about 7%. And a perfect rejection from the supply zone where I said if you guys wanted to short, that would be the area to short. And now we are holding support here. Now, if I were to go to, let me get a cleaner chart here. This was also another play that I gave last stream. Everything is up there. Tuesday, right? This was the stream time. We had the demand zone filled perfectly with the confluence of the diagonal trend line here. So that was a perfect entry at 93.9. Hopefully, we go up from here, but we have to break this down a little bit. I'm going to remove this because this is clean. Let's go to a 2-hour time chart here. Okay. Now this looks ugly on the 2-hour because you have this wick, but on the 4-hour, right, it's just wicks. We have a potential head and shoulders forming here. All right. Now, don't get all horny here and try to short because we haven't broken the neckline. All right. So we haven't broken below, rejected to continue to the downside. Right. And this, to me, doesn't look like it's completely bearish. If I were to draw a trend line, okay, and we're talking about structure here, we're still holding the trend line. So until we lose it and reject, which it also is, the perfect head and shoulders confirmation, break down, reject here, and then continue to the downside, this will give you a target of around 91K, which is this order block here, which is this support here. All right, so that is another good area to long. Now, coincidentally, let's flip this chart around. This looks like an Adam and Eve pattern. All right, let me see if I can share that really quickly. By the way, I've done no prep for this. I usually don't. I look at charts raw, but I don't have time anymore. Okay, so price comes down, right? There's your neckline, confirmation line, whatever the fuck it's called. I call it the neckline. Just the way you like it raw. Yeah. There's your V shape. There's your cup. Usually, I would love this to be a double bottom, right? But you have this V shape, and if we reject from here, you are looking for a breakout retest, or not, if we're looking at invertedly, breakdown, retest, and then dump. All right. Now, back to this being inverted. Technical targets of this, and this is why I like it to be a double bottom and not, like testicular cancer looking here, right? I want this to be a double bottom because the technical targets of an Adam and Eve is taken from the V to the neck to wherever this goes, right? And if you remember what I said, I expect us to go to this 88 to 85K level. Now, technical targets don't always hit. This is just, again, from the book. But I expect us to go and at least go to 88 to 85K. So these regions here. All right, these are the areas that I'm looking for TPs. So just be mindful of that. I wouldn't short here because we're still holding the trend line. But if we were to lose it, reject, this would most likely be your setup. Very, very tight stop. All right. Now be mindful because if we break down here, the retest, either we reject from this support here or we continue to go higher to the trend line. So this moves up if that's the case. We are only triggering this short if we wait for a confirmation of the breakdown and retest and rejection. Otherwise, if this goes up, then this moves up as well. So don't set limit bids. You have to wait for the confirmation. For me, I'm not shorting anything. I'd rather wait for longs and pullback because I want to add to my positions. But you want to, look at this, right? Bitcoin is down, ETH is down, strong alts are up. For fuck's sake, BNB is about to hit 700. Bitcoin, right? BNB, like AVAX filled our entries. Doge, like alts are holding pretty well, all right? And that's because Bitcoin dominance is decreasing. All right, so Bitcoin price going down, alts are holding stable. If Bitcoin price goes up with Bitcoin dominance going down, alts will accelerate. So best opportunity to buy is if we get that dip, alts are going to bounce back much faster. So I would buy the dip and keep buying the dip until it fails. And even if we go to 88K, we will rebound much harder when that's the case. All right, so again, don't get horny for shorts here. We haven't completely broken down, but that is the setup for the Adam and Eve pattern. And as I mentioned, 91 to 88. 91 was our entry for our spot long. All the way down to 85K is your buy zone for Bitcoin. All right, this is where you buy, and then we talk about lower levels once we get there, but these are your buy levels. Okay, so let me post this in. This was from last stream, but let me post this. Okay, let's take a look at ETH. Sol did hit TP, by the way, wherever it is. Let's take a look at ETH. Okay. All right. So the video that I made on Sunday played out. ETH was in a rising wedge here. Right. We broke down. There was your confirmation. Right. Reject. Short with stops above. Now we didn't get fully down to where I want. However, if we take a look at from the spot chart here, we had support. We wicked right into it. We grabbed all of this liquidity, right? And then currently, based on this SFP on the 4-hour, we should continue to grind a little bit higher. Now let's go to a perp chart and let's talk about levels. Okay. So this 35.43 is a very important level to hold. I'm going to zoom out on a daily. Okay. Right, rejections all across the board. We didn't flip it until we flipped it here. Broke out, flipped it, continued grind higher. Again, broke down, resistance, resistance. There's the breakout. There's the flip. We continue higher, and now we're holding it. So is this going to be another deviation like we had before? If so, it's going to be a typical ETH move. But areas to buy long term are going to be, and I mentioned this before, this was the accumulation before we had the huge move up. We never retested it. If we get a deep move into that 32 region, it's definitely a buy all the way down to 3K, right? Now, remember what I said about this rising wedge forming? Or sorry, the rising wedge that formed, right? Okay, now check this out. What if this is another major rising wedge, right? Technical targets of this right into that demand zone. All right, so although I make up some of my levels, technicals play a big part in how these levels are corrected and found, right? So if I were you, if we have a big move down, this would be most likely the leverage setup that you're going to get and have a soft stop loss. I know this is very wide, all right, so go in light. Entry, you DCA within the zone. I'm taking this on spot. And you're going to have a daily closure below this level. That's your invalidation. From that point on, we're targeting highs of this cycle. All right. I think this is the last chance that you get to buy ETH in this area. You might have scam wicks that go below it, like this, right? But as long as we close above here, we should be fine. Okay. In terms of lower time frame, again, no shorts until, same thing with ETH, right? Or sorry, Bitcoin. Close below. This isn't a head and shoulders. We don't have a clear neckline validation, but this would be your setup if we close below either this support in terms of resistance or rejection here. Stop loss probably there with TPs down to there. Let's make this chart a little bit cleaner. Okay, so let me post both of these. Now, ETH hasn't broken market structure to the downside yet, right? Like if we're looking at higher highs and higher lows, okay, maybe you can say this one. Until we fall back below here and turn to resistance, I'm not looking for this to be bearish. Okay. Why can't I get out of these? It won't let me reverse. Okay. Now, Sol, the reason why I took this trade is because this was the low, and I looked at this on the 8-hour chart, but even here, like we had an order block, right? This took all the liquidity. We swept these lows here with that, right? And we closed above. So that was a perfect swing failure pattern. We grabbed the liquidity. So that marked my long with stops below. TP1 has hit. Now, if we are looking at this, right, from a lower time, from a lower time frame here, we see that the structure after we had the highs, here's the low, right? We went back to make a lower high here, came back down, made a lower low. Here is your lower high. If we are able to go above, come back down, and make a higher low, then we have broken low time frame structure to the upside. All right. Yes, this is our last lower high, but this is our current lower high. And then we made a lower low. So break above, come back, make a higher low, and then continue higher. So if you haven't gotten into this long, if you missed it, wait for that structure break, wait for that higher low, and then you're going to take a long stops below this candle here, and you're going to target $46. Okay, outside of outside of Sol, I'm not going to share this because this is the call that I just made, but this is what I posted on Twitter. Let's clean this. Okay, very important level to overcome. Again, we have supply, SR, and resistance. That looks like George Washington. All right, so you're going to wait until break up back into here, and then that is your long trigger. If you're looking for shorts, which I wouldn't, because if this breaks structure, it should go higher, right? But here is your scalp short. Now let's say it goes into that first, comes back down, then you might have to look for that higher low here. Okay, but for now, this is your potential long once this is flipped. I'm targeting 246, like I said. Stops below that candle. So this is going to be a scalp. This will be your swing trade up to 246. Okay, but again, just be careful if you are, and I mean, it's perfect confluence here of a rejection of the trend line as well. Be careful if you are shorting here. Don't be net short on this trade because, again, Sol has a tendency to just go blast off once market structure has broken. Okay. What coins do you guys want me to look at? I have 30 minutes. And luckily, there's only 30 of you here, so. Okay, I'm going to go in order, so just bear with me. I'm picking one from every single one, okay? Otherwise, I won't be able to accommodate everyone. Okay. So with Ando, it has broken its all-time high, right? RWA coins continued to rally yesterday. We saw, FET run, Ando run. So laggards, maybe they continue to run, but right now, Ando has broken price discovery. All right. So remember what I said. Once a coin goes into price discovery, you play the retest of the breakout. Now, here is I guess 2 days ago, right? We had the breakout. There's the retest, but I think this continues to hold. So you're going to bid 148 in my opinion. And DCA all the way to 128. I know this coin got hit hard, but we're now in a confirmed price discovery uptrend. So if you're looking to, add to your spot, this is your money zone. Price comes down here. It should get accepted and then continue to go higher. Now, leverage trade, it's very hard to play this, but it kind of looks like it's bull flagging on the hour. Right? Small little bull flag. So, a couple ways you can play this. Wait for the breakout retest. Stops will be somewhere below here. Or the safest way, here is your support. Now we've had 1, 2, 3 touches. It's getting weaker and weaker every single time. This is your play on a lower time frame. Okay. but I'd rather go with the 148 down to 128 for your spot accumulation. Zul, do you want Popcat or do you want Tia? I'm choosing one. Cool. Good choice. All right. Popcat. Now, for those that are in here, this is the exclusive call that I gave to my students in my server, and I also teased it on Twitter. And I posted a picture of a cat showing its balls. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to get it, but let's take a look. So Popcat has held this very, very important support area. We have also taken all this liquidity and closed above. Now we are at resistance. Now this coin, while the market was going down, this coin was going up. The reason for that, I don't know if it has a BTC pairing. It does not. I was gonna say it's the BTC pairing, but most likely with shitcoins being listed on Coinbase, such as Mog and Mudang or whatever I think just got listed, this has not been listed on Coinbase. And not just that, it doesn't even have a spot on Binance, right? So yes, Coinbase is teasing cats. So I think if this gets a Coinbase listing, you saw what happened with Dog with a Hat. It went up like 66% in a day. Expect the same thing. Expect this coin to go into price discovery. So this is a coin that I suggest you hold in your position, or sorry, in your spot bags, because it will eventually get a Coinbase listing. It's very cheap, right? Degens love to buy random stupid soul coins, right? I personally don't like cats, but this is the only cat that I have in my bag. Wink, wink. So if we get another pullback into this region here, this is where you could buy. We are at resistance. I wouldn't buy here unless we break above and then retest and flip this. But this looks good for upside. And it just has broken out. Right, there's the breakout, there's the retest. This looks like it wants at least $1.60. I never suggest buying on green pumps like this unless we have a flip. So any dips down to 135, down to one, I don't think you'll get 121 unless we have a major correction, but this green zone is a buy. Okay, this is the coin, and for all those people that are watching on YouTube wondering what the coin was that I was calling for 2 to 3x, this is the coin. All right, it's not going to happen immediately, but just be patient. I think it's an easy 2 to 3x. So this is your buy zone. Okay, that is your buy zone. I'm going to make this a 12-hour chart so everyone can see the data a little bit more clear. Okay, next coin. Let's do Suie. Okay. I think. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys what a simple, or like, and how much time a chart can change. Okay. If I were to replay this, this is what the coin looked like yesterday. Someone was asking me about it. I said it looked like shit, and it really did, right? Like we had a loss of trend. We had a market structure break. There's the lower high, comes back down on major critical support. Flip it, right? You have this cup and handle with a ascending, well, in this case, a descending wedge with a target of like 250. okay? 240, right? But then in a 8-hour time span, this breaks out, right? And it just completely broke out. Targets of this is new all-time highs at $4.24, and this is where we are now. Okay, but now we got to be careful because not only did we take out these highs, right? We closed back below. We did an SFP. Is this a daily close? Now we gotta wait for the daily close because this could be an SFP of a 4-hour time frame. So if I'm looking to buy back, this would be the area to buy back. Okay, we had clear resistance here, right? We broke out. That's an SR point now. Let's draw some fibs. Let's take it from this swing low. Okay, so if I'm looking to leverage trade this, I have a whole bunch of confluence here, right? I have retest of this breakout point, right? We have an order block. We have the golden pocket here. We have an SR point. So I have a lot of reasons to take this trade at $3.54. Stop loss will be below these lows. You can get a tighter stop if you want. You can place it here. But if you have a wide stop like this, this would be a spot play. Or if you're taking this on leverage, this would be a low leverage, low position. That if you were to hit stop loss, you lose no more than 4% of your portfolio, and you are looking for that move up. All right, but because we have this SFP, I would not get into it here if the daily closes like this. Let's say we close here. Maybe you could take a short at current market price, stops above the wick, and target this right here. But the only reason I wouldn't suggest that is because the risk to reward is complete garbage, right? You have about a 2-hour trade here. That's if we close like this. Okay, but again, I'm not biased. I give every single chart and setup, regardless if it's bad or not. Okay, this was 8. One cat. Never heard of this coin. All right. So we do have a structure break right here. Let's go to a line chart. It's just making, here was the last lower high, right? We broke out, come back down, make another higher low here. Okay, we actually flipped that perfectly to support. Close the daily like this, you have a bearish engulfing candle. This would be, if we close the day like this, this would be a long, right? Long, stops below, target, TP, and there. Okay. You probably have a bullish divergence forming as well. Or it formed. Not a strong one, but right, price making higher lows. This one didn't. So a bullish divergence formed, and then it's continuing up. It's getting close to 70%. I would like a reset back at 50%. Notice, however, we got back at 50, right here, there. It pumped. So a reset back at 50 RSI should continue this to the upside. But again, I'm not familiar with this coin. I don't know how it runs, but technically, this would be, you would want this back to 50% before a bigger move up. If we get a deeper correction into another higher low, this would be the area to long. You have very, very tight invalidation. and same targets. All right. Okay. Dog with a hat. Okay. This one's struggling a bit. I did not like the close on the daily yesterday. We have a daily bearish engulfing candle. Support's holding so far, but how many more times can we touch support before it gets blasted through? Sorry, one sec. All right. We have the inverse head and shoulders here, right? So remember what I said, if we're playing inverse head and shoulders, you always want to play the retest. We haven't actually got yes, we got a retest touch here, but this is a very strong support. So if we break the current support that we're on, look at 285, but we haven't broken structure yet because we are making higher highs and higher lows. This is your last higher low, but it's not completely broken. So I'm looking for this and then continue to the upside. We can go as low as this order block as well. Right? Major support, lost it, deviation, again, resistance, haven't retested it. So hopefully we get a wick into here. That would be an optimal entry. Otherwise, if you want to buy spot, this is your SR point of the inverse head and shoulders target, neckline, and then buy all the way down to 219 and go higher. I mean, like right now, this coin looks disgusting, especially on the weekly, right? It's just consolidating here on support. Lower time frame, the stronger the consolidation on support, the weaker the support will eventually be. We've had so many touches, and contrary, people think, the longer we hold support, buyers are showing up. I think it's the opposite. The longer we consolidate on support, buyers are weakening. So this looks like it wants to go a little bit lower. But this coin usually pumps with Sol, and Sol has been pumping, so this coin has been pumping. Right? We took out the lows here and then got a nice move up. Now, low time frame, break through this resistance here and flip it to support. This would be your setup. All right, so break out, close above, retest, come back, and then target there, stops below that wick. Otherwise, here is your spot buy zone. And there is your ultimate leverage entry if we get a huge move down. Nice. Sol is going bonkers. What's up with not? Who called not? Nice. We longed. By the way, are you guys still in BNB spot with me? 615 entry. Okay, not. Looks good on the daily. Uptrend still intact. We are at resistance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to most likely break to the upside because we've had 6 touches of this. So you are looking for, and again, these are confirmation plays. We swept these lows. Double equal bottom. Most likely there. Now we have very, very strong supply here. So TP1, not a very good coin to play in terms of leverage, because these wicks are ridiculous. Okay, so break above, flip this to support, right? TP1 comes there, back to the daily to get the other TPs. You have very strong supply here, and TP3 most likely comes around here. Again, I don't like the R&R here. This would never be a coin that I trade, but daily looks good as long as we're able to close like this. You're just waiting for that low time frame flip to get in. Okay. I think this was pumping because it was RWA, right? So okay, it's above resistance. This is not an area where I would get in. Here is your fair value gap. It actually rejected from it. Okay. One sec. That would be the entry that I would get into if we do get a retrace. We're at resistance here. I don't like this candle on the 12 hour. It looks like it's indecision. Could go both ways. But we closed above, we retested. So if you're taking a scalp, if that 12 hour closes, which is going to be in 3 hours from now, this would again, I don't like the setup here. Because you have very small upside and a lot more downside. Like upside, like this is all supply. We already rejected. Yep, I'd look more for a retrace here. I'd look for this. I'd look for another higher low to be made. Yep. That's the only thing I see on true. Yeah, link is gone. Yeah, not looking at Coinbase chart. One sec. Fuck Coinbase. Piece of shit exchange. All right. So, where I said local highs, right? Breakout, perfect retest. That is your entry. So this is the one thing I want you guys to remember. Whenever we have a breakout of a local high or price discovery, playing that high is going to give you an immense amount of return, right? So this already gave you a 8% move if you had just bid that local high, all right? Now things get tricky because now that has already been taken, and right now we have broken structure to the downside. Okay, so We got to see how we play, but low time frame, here is an order block. This would most likely be your short. Also, it is the Quasimodo pattern, right? We have highs, right? Here is your low, going into that rejection point, comes back down, stops, target. I like this order block. I don't know if we get it, but if we do, that's where you go and buy this coin. You could bounce again from support. We don't have a clear range forming. I mean, yes, we can call this range low, and we can call this range high. If we're playing this range, this is a perfect short of that range high. If you're playing this range low, right, playing back to range high. Now be careful here because we actually ran the stops at range low. We had an SFP. So this could easily come back down, grab these lows, close above, and that is your trigger to long. Stops above, below the wick. Target mid-range first, and then TP at range highs. Okay, just be careful shorting in an uptrend. And this could easily be another little small mini falling wedge. Arrow's such a shit coin, man. Hate this coin. Alright. Okay. So we have a ascending triangle here. One sec, is this the oldest chart? Nope, it is not. Let's look at this one. All right, ascending triangle. We are flirting here with a breakout. Target for this ascending triangle, I'm going to take it from here to the neckline to there, is about $2.20, which gets you to all-time highs close to it, this wick. It's at resistance here. We have two indecision candles. Well, yesterday's indecision. This is literally at support, or sorry, at resistance. I'd most likely look for a pullback into there if you're looking to buy. Okay, we had resistance, deviation, breakout, never had a retest. Golden pocket, trendline confluence. This would be the area to get into it if you really like getting hurt in life. There you go. So something like this, if we get it. Now again, disclaimer, these are just ideas. I'm not taking any of these trades. If you are, that is your risk and solely your risk yourself. I'm just sharing potential plays. However, very, very strong supply zone here. I expect rejection back down to there. Okay. Going down one sec. Can you look at CAS? This is the oldest chart. Wow. Whoa, these are old freaking colors that I've used. All right, let's take a look. Is this a gaming coin? I have no idea. No? So just looking at this currently, we could possibly see a few options here. And this is why doing your own analysis is beneficial, right? Does this look bullish or bearish to you? Just a quick quiz here. Why does it look bearish? Okay. Okay. Anyone see potentially bullish? Okay. So this can go both ways, right? You guys nailed it with the resistance touch, all right? This is getting weaker and weaker. We also have a potential inverse head and shoulders formed. We just need to get above this level, right? Now you could say this looks like a cup and handle, okay? However, looking at trends here, we actually do have a low time frame structure break, okay? Well, not necessarily completely. This is Caspa, or CAS. So if we take a look, right, we have structure, right? Once we broke above this, we had the bullet structure. Here is your higher high. Here's your higher low. Here is your higher high. Here's your higher low, right? This can easily go from here to make another higher high, right? And then come back down. However, line chart, if we break below this higher low, that is when trend gets bearish, right? Then you're looking for the next lower high. Sorry, make a lower low, lower high, and then further down. It's not bullish and it's not completely bearish yet, right? We're still in an uptrend, but as long as we don't break below this level here, we are fine. Okay. Now, last daily was a bearish engulfing, so it led to further down, right? Whenever we usually have a bearish engulfing candle, we continue to go down. This one, right? We just got to see if this held. Now this on a 4-hour, okay, here is your clear support. We've had multiple touches, meanwhile, multiple touches of resistance. So this can go both ways. I don't think that it has strength to go higher from here. I don't know what this coin is, to be honest. So we've had multiple rejections. So maybe this goes to reject again and then comes back down. That daily demand zone is where you want to get in. Or sorry, not demand zone, this order block. Okay. Otherwise, you should wait until this level is flipped to support, because you're just playing with fire here in between this order block and this resistance. So like this is like a mid-range between these 2 points. Very tricky to play. You'll have to wait a little bit longer until something forms. This looks like a possible hangman candlestick, and that also signifies lower. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. Either you're waiting for this level to be flipped or you're waiting for that there. So I'll post this in charts. And this will be my last coin because I got to head out. What am I doing? All right. So this will be uploaded on my YouTube. You guys can catch it there. I will see you guys later. Thanks, everyone.